Hey everyone, this is Mike, and I had a really enjoyable class this morning, and I wanted to take a few minutes to introduce you to next week's class. First, before I forget, before you get into this recording, make sure that you have finished last week's class, that you've used last week's formula to calculate the CLV for marketer Mary, and owner Ollie. Okay, so make sure you do that part of the homework. I will put a tool to turn that in the HubSpot unit. Okay, folder. Okay, good. Now, assuming you've done that, next week's case is a great case, and this was like the first case that I picked for this course when I first saw it. I just liked it immediately. And it's a case about two professors that have developed this technology to help customers offer better customer service. And it's Answer Dash. So when customers are interacting with the company's web page, this is an extra tab that pops up, and it's an interactive advanced knowledge base. So when previous customers have asked this question, and Answer Dash has a question, so every other has a response, and so every other customer that comes and asks that question can get this response and can get refinements, and so it's a great technology. And for next week, we're going to have 4 questions. I will have a response tool, a homework tool, in the Answer Dash unit, and I'm losing track. I think it's 6 or 7. But here's what the questions will be. Okay, couple of things. Obviously, when you look at question 2 and then question 3, calculate the economic value added for Answer Dash and then CLV. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to go through that with you for a few minutes. Okay. So here's the 2 things I'll talk about. Economic value added from the marketing perspective means that when a customer uses your offering, what is the benefit created? What is the financial benefit created? Okay, it's the economic value added. Now, this is obviously a difficult thing for a B2C context, but in the B2B context, this is really critical. And it is when you are developing an early company, it's really a critical piece that you need to be able to deliver. You need to be able to articulate this. And in fact, the conversation often is, do we offer early customers discounts or even give them our technology free just so we can build the business case and calculate the economic value added? Investors in your board will say no. It depends on how easily you can get get customers to use it and to get you the information that you need. So what is the economic value added in the Answer Dash context and a lot of contexts? Number 1, increased revenues, okay? And because Answer Dash is in the e-commerce sector, reduced shopping cart abandonment is the key issue. The other issue is cost reductions associated with fewer customer support tickets. Every time you call customer support, that's a tremendous amount of money. That's an expensive thing for a company. So if Answer Dash can prevent that from happening, it's saving the customer money, saving the company money. Okay, so first let's deal with the increased revenue. The first thing is we just can't look at raw revenues because the variable costs come into play. In this case, they call the gross margin the contribution margin. You can, number 1, make sure you're only looking at the e-commerce revenues, and you can figure out what the increased revenues are by looking at the contribution margin times the total revenue times the percent increase in the revenue. And that information will be available in the case. Let me know if you're having trouble. Ask your classmates or give me a call if you're not sure. The second part of this equation is cost decrease. Now, one thing they don't give you in this case is the total number of tickets, or the total number of customers who use customer support. But on page 8, they give you an estimate of the total number of tickets, and that 1% of customers engage with customer support. So you can calculate the cost decrease by looking at the percent reduction in tickets times site traffic by 0.01. So site traffic by 0.01, what this bullet point is here is calculating their customer service traffic before answer dash, okay? And then the cost per ticket varies between each one of the customers. So you may have to take an average there. Okay. The HubSpot CLV is a little different than the one we did last week, because here's what we did last week, okay? Monthly profit times customer lifetime in month. So this is the inverse of customer churn, okay, minus the acquisition cost. This is just a very basic kind of CLV. Here's the thing it doesn't do. It doesn't take into account the discounting of the cash flows and the time value of money. Now, this is something that they're going to explain in more depth when you get to finance. But if I have to pay someone $100, if I pay them right now, I have to give them $100 of my own money, okay? If I have to pay someone $100 in 5 years, that's very different, right? Because I can take that $100. This is how finance people think about it, not the world of college students, okay? But if I have to pay someone $100 in 5 years, I can take that $100 and put it into some sort of interest-bearing account. And the money will accrue interest. So in 5 years, the $100 I'm paying is not my own money. Some of that is money, the interest that I've earned on the original $100, okay? So similarly, the money that I'm going to earn in a few years is worth less to me now because of this time value of money, okay? You've heard, you all got the lesson in grade school about the miracle of compounding interest. The same thing is true in reverse, that just as when a pile of money grows larger over time because of the miracle of compounding interest, that also works to act that if you're getting money in the future, 2-3 years from now, that money has less value to you right now. And so you have to discount for that decrease in the value of money. You'll get into this a lot more when you do finance. But here's how we can accommodate that phenomenon with CLVs, or lifetime value, as they call it in this case, okay? So the lifetime value, the customer lifetime value, is M, the per period margin, or revenues per year, per unit, times 1 plus the interest rate. Let's assume a 5% interest rate for this case, okay? I couldn't see it anywhere, so let's just assume a 5% interest case. Divided by 1 minus the annual retention rate. So this particular formula is using the reverse. Last time we used churn. This time we're using retention. Obviously, they're just it's the flip side of the same number. So On the denominator, 1 minus the retention rate plus the interest rate, or 0.05. Okay, again, minus acquisition costs. So this extra complexity in this term is now bringing in the factor of interest rates. I will post an article for you that explains this in more depth in the answer dash unit folder. Okay, I know it's confusing, and I know it's a little confusing to be changing the formula, but I want you to understand that there's a bunch of these different formulas that you can adapt to any particular situation, and I want you to be familiar with the full breadth of available tools. Okay. So that's the new piece to answer dash. You're going to have to calculate an economic value added and a CLV or LTV, as they call it in this case. Please use your classmates as resources and call me if you have any questions. And next week we'll also have another guest speaker. Peter Malamus will be coming to class. So have a great week, everybody. Give me a call if you have any questions.